Zakat in the scriptures. Did God really command a 2.5% charity? The true meaning of zakat is purity, betterment and goodness and pure augmentation. This is also consistent with the previous scriptures. According to Muslim tradition, zakat refers to a mandatory charity of 2.5% on all income. Other sects argue it is 20% on all surplus. Zakat was prescribed to the followers of all prophets. Most importantly, because you cannot find the details of this ritual in the Quran, you need to follow non-scriptural literature like the Hadiths, a sort of Muslim Talmud. It is important to note that according to the Quran, God himself gave zakat to John the Baptist. I seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. 19:12-13. O John, hold firmly to the scripture. And we gave him judgment, while yet a boy. And affection from us, and purity, zakat, and he was pious. Did God give him a check of 2.5%? Also see Quran chapter 18 verse 81. The root zakah in the Quran relates to purity, as in betterment and goodness and pure augmentation. Here is how this root is used throughout the Quran, besides the word zakat. An innocent, pure, child is called zaki, 1919, 1874. We are ordered not to exalt ourselves by claiming that we are pure, 449, 5332. God purifies the believers both in this life, 24:21, and in the hereafter, 2:174, 377. God's messengers also purify us because they make us grow spiritually. 2:129, 2:151, 3:164, 9:103, 83, 87. Believing in God, alongside with doing good deeds, purifies us, 20:75-76, 92:18. Obeying God's instructions also purifies us, 2:232, 24:28, 24:30. We are also commanded to work on our purification, 87:14, 91:8-9. Let us now look at two specific verses in this list. 20:75-76. And who comes to him as a believer, having done righteous deeds, those have the high degrees, gardens of perpetual abode, beneath which rivers flow, they abiding eternally therein. And that is the reward of him who purifies himself, ta zakah. 87:14. He is successful who has purified himself, ta zakah, and remembers the name of his Lord and performs the duty, salah. Let us also look at 35:18. You do not warn except those who fear their Lord unseen and uphold the duty, aqamu al-salat. And he who purifies himself, ta zakah, he but purifies himself for his soul. And to God is the journey's end. The Quran often links observing the duty, salat, and purity, or purification. Moreover, the word zakat almost always occur with the word salat. Let us see how the Quran addresses the children of Israel regarding zakat. The Heifer. 263. I seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. And recall when we took your covenant, O children of Israel, and we raised over you the mount, saying, take what we have given you with determination, and remember what is in it, that perhaps you may become righteous. The Heifer. 283. I seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. And recall when we took the covenant from the children of Israel, enjoining upon them, do not worship except God, and to parents, do good, and to relatives, orphans, and the needy. And speak to people good words and uphold the duty, and bring forth the zakat. Then you turned away, except a few of you, and you were refusing. Observations. These verses confirm the covenant God made with the house of Israel on the mount. The covenant emphasized the salat, duty, and the zakat, purity. This covenant is in fact mentioned in the Torah. Let us read the relevant passages. Exodus 34:27-28. I seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Then Yahuwah said to Moses, write down all these instructions, for they represent the terms of the covenant I am making with you and with Israel. Moses remained there on the mountain with Yahuwah 40 days and 40 nights. In all that time he ate no bread and drank no water. And Yahuwah wrote the terms of the covenant, the 10 commandments, on the stone tablets. For the sake of clarity, we will leave the expression the 10 commandments as it is. It is best rendered as the 10 words, the 10 statements or the 10 matters. Deuteronomy 4:11-13. I seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. You came near and stood at the foot of the mountain, while flames from the mountain shot into the sky. The mountain was shrouded in black clouds and deep darkness. And Yahuwah spoke to you from the heart of the fire. You heard the sound of his words, but didn't see his form. There was only a voice. He proclaimed his covenant, the 10 commandments, which he commanded you to keep, and which he wrote on 2 stone tablets. Deuteronomy 10:4-5. I seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Once again Yahuwah wrote the 10 commandments on the tablets and gave them to me. They were the same words Yahuwah had spoken to you from the heart of the fire on the day you were assembled at the foot of the mountain. Then I turned and came down the mountain and placed the tablets in the ark of the covenant, which I had made, just as Yahuwah commanded me. And the tablets are still there in the ark. Observations. The Quran confirms the Torah. The covenant God made with Israel consists of the 10 commandments, which were given to all Israel on Mount Sinai. Since Quran 283 reiterates this covenant and uses the word Zakat, we should be able to connect the dots. Let us read Quran 283 and the 10 commandments and compare them with each other. According to the Quran, the terms of the covenant were as follows. Do not worship except God. And to parents, do good, and to relatives, orphans, and the needy. And speak to people good words and uphold the duty, and bring forth the Zakat. Let us now look at the covenant according to Deuteronomy chapter 5. The following is an extract from our video on the book of Deuteronomy. It features the New Living Translation, or NLT. I seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful.
I am the Lord your God who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. You must not have any other God but me. You must not make for yourself an idol of any kind, or an image of anything in the heavens, or on the earth, or in the sea. You must not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God who will not tolerate your affection for any other gods. I lay the sins of the parents upon their children. The entire family is affected, even children in the 3rd and 4th generations of those who reject me. But I lavish unfailing love for 1,000 generations on those who love me and obey my commands. You must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The Lord will not let you go unpunished if you misuse his name. Observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy, as the Lord your God has commanded you. You have 6 days each week for your ordinary work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath day of rest, dedicated to the Lord your God. On that day, no one in your household may do any work. This includes you, your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, your oxen and donkeys, and other livestock, and any foreigners living among you. All your male and female servants must rest as you do. Remember that you were once slaves in Egypt, but the Lord your God brought you out with his strong hand and powerful arm. That is why the Lord your God has commanded you to rest on the Sabbath day. Honor your father and mother, as the Lord your God commanded you. Then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You must not murder. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not testify falsely against your neighbor. You must not covet your neighbor's wife. You must not covet your neighbor's house or land, male or female servant, ox or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor.
Let us now compare these two accounts, while keeping in mind that they essentially say the same thing. Let us start with the obvious. Do not worship except God refers to the first 4 commandments given in the biblical account. These 4 commandments are about pure monotheism and devotion to the one God. And to parents do good is the Quranic equivalent of the 5th commandment, honor your father and mother. The next part, and to relatives, orphans, and the needy, refers to the last 5 commandments, which give guidelines on how to live in society. It is important to note that, while the word relatives refers to the children of Israel as a whole, who all share a common ancestor, the word needy includes the rest of the Israelite society, that is to say the foreigners, see Deuteronomy 14:29 and 24:17-21. The Torah commands the Israelites to love them and to do good to them. And speak to people good words is a clear reference to the 9th commandment, you must not testify falsely against your neighbor. And uphold the duty refers to the observance of the commandments, which include the 10 commandments given by God on Mount Sinai. We now need to ask ourselves the following question. Among the 10 commandments, what are those that bring forth the Zakat, purity? And the answer is all of them. All of these commandments are conducive to purifying ourselves in God's eyes. In short, salat, duty, and zakat, purity, are 2 sides of the same coin, obedience to God. Observing the commandments leads to purification on the individual and societal level,